Today, in this session, we will master what classes are and its types. First, we have to know about sentence. A sentence is a group of words that contains a subject and predicate and makes complete sense by itself. In a sentence, the subject refers to what or whom we are talking about in the sentence. The predicate tells us more about the subject. The predicate contains the verb. The sentence must contain a subject and a verb. Now, definition for class. A class is a group of words that contains a subject and verb or a predicate. It has complete meaning by itself. It is usually only a part of a sentence. A sentence may have one or more than one class. Here, for example, James is a good dancer. In the sentence, have one class. I have never been to Paris, nor have I visited Dubai. In the sentence, there are two classes. Third example, Charles want to buy a car. I want to buy a motorcycle, but I don't have enough money. In this sentence, there are three classes. Mainly, classes are of two types: independent class or main class. The second one is dependent class or subordinate class. Dependent class divided into three types. They are noun class, adjective class, and adverb class. Now we are going to see about independent class. An independent class, as the name suggests, is a class that is not dependent on anything and gives a complete idea or thought. Since it gives complete sense, it is also a sentence. An independent class is a sentence. Here, example for independent class. I feel amazing. We should think big. We never give up. Maya left the room. Independent class gives a complete idea or meaning and not depend on anything. They are complete sentences as well. The next one is dependent class. A dependent class is totally opposite to an independent class. As the name suggests, it is dependent on something. It is dependent on an independent class. It is dependent on an independent class. A dependent class does not give a complete idea or meaning and cannot stand alone as a sentence. Here, list for subordinate conjunction, that is subordinate class or dependent class. Here, it starts with after, until, although, though, if, even if, so, before, after, when, where, whenever, wherever, unless, until, that, so that, because, provided that, rather than, in order to, while, even though, why, as. Here are examples for dependent class. When I help people, if you keep troubling her, Even if we fail, before I could say anything. These highlighted words are subordinating conjunctions. Students, we have seen what is dependent class and independent class. Dependent class classified into three types. They are noun class, adverb class and adjective class. Now, what is class? Once again, we will see with an example. Cow graze in grooves on grass which grows in grooves. In this sentence, two classes are there. Here, cows is the subject. Graze in groves on grass is a predicate. And in the second class, which is a noun, here qualifies as noun as a subject, grows in grooves is a predicate. So the word which here qualifies the noun grass. So a class is a group of words that contains a subject and a predicate and forms part of a sentence. A sentence may have one or more than one class. Here, identify classes in sentence. First example, Sarah will play when her homework is done. Here, Sarah is a subject. Will play is a predicate. Sarah will play is a group 1, that is class 1. Her homework is done. Here, her homework is subject, is done is predicate, and when is conjunction here. So, conjunction is a joining word. In the sentence, the second class acts as an adverb that qualifies the verb will play in the first class. Therefore, the second class is an adverb class. An adverb class is a class that does the work of an adverb in a sentence. Next one is adjective class. See to the example. Tommy carried a bag that was too heavy for me. In this sentence, we have two classes. Here, Tommy is the subject, carried a bag is the predicate in the first class. Was too heavy for me is a predicate in the second class, and that is the subject in the second class. In this sentence, the second class qualifies or describes the noun bag in the first sentence. What is this? In this sentence, the second class qualifies or described. Here adjective is a describing word, is it no? So second class qualifies or describes the noun bag in the first class. Therefore, the second class is an adjective class. Here, what is an adjective class? An adjective class is a class that does the work of an adjective in a sentence. So, it is called as adjective class. The next one is noun class. Here, what does Katie think? Here, see to the example. Katie thinks that she is very pretty. What does Katie thinks? Katie thinks that she is very pretty. See to the sentence. Katie is a subject. Thinks is a predicate. In this sentence also we have two classes. That she is very pretty. She is the subject and is very pretty is a predicate. So here this class is the subject of the verb, or this class is the object of the verb thinks. Therefore, it is a noun class. So, what is a noun class? A noun class is a class that does the work of a noun in a sentence. So, it is called as noun class. So, what is the difference between clauses and phrases? A clause is a group of words that forms part of a sentence, but a phrase and a clause can form part of a sentence. Here, a clause sometimes makes sense by itself. However, a phrase does not make complete sense by itself because it has no subject and predicate and always depend on another word to form a sentence. See to the example. I like the cake with cherries. Here, with cherries is the phrase. Here, how the sentence here, I like the cake which has cherries on it. So, this is the example. So, what we have learnt up to this, let us see the recap. A sentence is a group of words that has a subject and a predicate and makes complete sense by itself. A sentence must contain a subject and a verb. A clause is a group of words that has a subject and a predicate and is part of a sentence. A sentence have one or more than one clause. There are three types of clauses. That is an adverb clause, adjective clause, and a noun clause. What is an adverb clause? An adverb clause is a clause that does the work of an adverb in a sentence. An adjective clause is a clause that does the work of an adjective in a sentence. A noun clause is a clause that does the work of a noun in a sentence. A clause sometimes makes sense by itself. However, a phrase does not have a subject and predicate and does not make sense by itself. Students, write all the definitions and examples in your classwork grammar notebook. Thank you.